There are so many upcoming Kickstarter games, it is insane. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 40 of them. That's right, 40 different games. But I'm going to cover them in a rapid fire fashion so I don't waste too much of your guys' time. So sit back and relax, it's time to talk about some crowdfunding games. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayton and I do these upcoming Kickstarter videos every single month, but in today's video I thought I would talk about January and beyond because there's just so many great games coming out in 2023. And as always, I'll have links and dates for all these games in the description box down below so you guys can figure out your Kickstarter budget for what games you guys want to back, and make sure to sign up for anything that looks interesting to you because dates do change all the time. And with that being said, I just want to mention I'm going to be talking about January's upcoming Kickstarter games first and then moving on to games that are coming out later in the year. Now, let's get right into the video. Chesney, coming January 4th, a game suitable for players who love social deduction. There are shifting factions and different strategies that will determine the fate of the game. The goal of the game is to lead your faction to be the only faction in the conflict zone. After 3 rounds, the player with the highest score wins. Now next up, I have a game by CMON that is launching sometime in January, I believe, and that is Marvel United Multiverse. This is going to be a standalone expansion to Marvel United, similar to the X-Men series, with a lot more cards, abilities, heroes from alternate realities, galactic villains, and there's going to be some new rules. So if you are looking for even more content from Marvel United, here you go. Definitely check this one out. It's by CMON. Keep in mind that shipping prices are probably going to be high, but there's going to be tons of Kickstarter exclusives to go with this. I'll probably cover this one in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. And on that note, I just quickly want to bring up the partners of this video. If you are working on an upcoming project for Kickstarter or a designer and you want to take the stress out of marketing, I highly recommend this company called Big Board Theory. They work with a bunch of reviewers to get your game noticed and help you get your game funded on Kickstarter. I'll have a link for their website and their Facebook group down below if you want to learn more about them. Just make sure that you said Just a Geeky Dad sent you, and that'd be very much appreciated because that helps out this channel. Now with that being said, let's get back to the video. Among the Cultists, coming January 9th, a social deduction game. 4 to 8 investigators are trying to prevent a secret ritual in a university. Unfortunately, some of the players are evil cultists. Can you figure out who is who before it is too late? OrcQuest WarPath Resurrection, coming January 10th. OrcQuest WarPath is a cooperative dungeon crawl game for 1 to 6 players. This version is said to have some new fresh gameplay mechanics from the original game, and there's going to be, of course, a lot more orcs. Arborea, coming to Kickstarter January 16th. A game where you play as woodland spirits and share resources. It is a Euro-style game with worker placement and beautiful looking meeples. Now next up, I have a game that I do have a prototype for, but I just haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I will be playing it very soon, so look forward to my review, and that is Once Upon a Line. This is coming January 17th, and from what I understand, this is going to be a narrative scratch-off game where you can make your own personal adventure. You can either play this solo or cooperatively. And it is partnered with Lucky Duck, which I know that means that the narrative story in this game is going to be super good. Really looking forward to this one. I can honestly say I never played a scratch-off game, so I'm very interested to see how this game turns out. Look forward to my review, like I mentioned, once I get this to the table. Now let's move on to the next game. AEGIS, Combining Robots Season 2, coming January 17th. Build your team, unite their powers, and fight your way to victory. Enjoy the furious tactic battles. Witchbound, coming January 24th, a solo open-world style, story-driven game. You explore scenes full of details for you to interact with. Go on grand adventures to explore the magical island and become the first witch in over a century. Batman Escape from Arkham Asylum, also coming on January 24th. After much delay, this one is finally coming to crowdfunding. I'm really looking forward to this one. In this game, you are playing as different Gotham villains with their own unique abilities, fighting against Batman and his allies trying to escape Arkham Asylum. It plays semi-cooperatively and it is a dungeon crawl game for 1 to 5 players. I'm really looking forward to this one, and depending on the price, I may back it because this next game I'm definitely backing and I'm not too sure it's in my budget to back both of them. Andromeda's Edge, coming January 31st. A worker placement game in which workers are starships that you can upgrade with new special abilities. The game board features a modular hex-style map displaying regions of space with worker placement actions and sites for development. Your player board is a customizable starship base that allows you to build massive tableau engines. Each player will control a unique faction that has different ways to play the game. And of course, if this game sounds similar, it's by the same designer that brought Dwellings of Evervale to life. That one is a massive hit. I missed out on Dwellings of Evervale, so I don't think I'm going to miss out on this one. The Curse of Candelabria, an area control Euro game with living candles and a melting mechanic. The game features dudes on the map tactical combat with high detailed miniatures. I've heard a lot of buzz about this one. I've been seeing it pop up all over my social media. It's going to be launching fairly soon. If you like area control games and combat games, this might be something for you to check out. It looks really good and a lot of fun to play. The Shivers expansion Triple Terror. 3 new expansions for the Shivers pop-up mystery adventure game, featuring 12 new playable scenarios and 3 amazing new pop-up rooms. Stonesaga coming February 8th. A cooperative campaign-style survival crafting board game where you can shape the world based off your choices. This one is by Out of My Mind Games, which recently made Mistwind, which was a huge success on Kickstarter, so I'm sure this one will be as well. They have tons of great games. Really looking forward to this one. I may have a prototype, so again, stay tuned for my review for this one. Next up, we have Street Fighter V Champions Edition Legends, a cooperative game of brawling action for 1 to 4 players. In each game, players will take on the role of their favorite Street Fighter character and work together to defeat their rivals and overcome their nemesis. Build your combos, upgrade your abilities, and become a legend. Empyreal by Level 99 Games is coming back with some brand new expansion. This is coming early 2023. The Wilderness, an immersive adventure cooperative board game set in a dystopian world where animals have evolved into giant beasts. Antares Kingdoms coming back to Kickstarter. This is a Euro-style kingdom builder card game for 1 to 5 players. Ruse, the board game, a Fox-themed Euro strategy game with a unique design of worker placement mechanics, territory exploration, resource, and dice management. I talked a little bit more about this game, about games that I'm really excited for that are coming to Kickstarter. Can't remember the name of that video, but I'll have it linked down below so you guys can check that out if you want to learn more about this one. Rove, a fantasy immersive dungeon crawl game set in a wild, vibrant universe. Players will play through a campaign, unlock new skills, equipment, and different classes to play as. If you are really into heavy dungeon crawl games with an immersive story, open world, this is definitely a game for you to check out. It's going to be really big on Kickstarter. I'll cover it more when it launches, but this one looks fantastic. Now next up, I have a game that I can't really pronounce because I believe it's Russian or something, but here's the name of the game, and this is going to be a mech-based semi-cooperative game set in a dark future where nations are fighting each other and against giant demons trying to rule the world. Co-Baron, the Enhanced Edition with new deluxified components. Manage your miners to fulfill your orders and become the next Co-Baron in town. Ynaros Fallin, a game of epic battles, hidden powers, and magic land exploration. I may be getting a prototype copy for this one. This is either a 1-player game where you play against an AI, I believe, or you can play this with another player, and it is a dueling game. I love the artwork in this one. Looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun to play. Look forward to my review for this one as well. Spellstorm, a magical battle royale, a tactical deck building game for 1 to 4 players. There's gonna be 8 wily asymmetrical wizards fighting for power. Epic spellers of battle wizards. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that because I have no idea how to say that, but that is kind of the fun in this game. I've played different versions of this. The goal of the game is you're playing down spells that have funny names to them. It's silly, it's kind of funny. If you're into those types of games, then this is definitely a game for you. But it is a player elimination game, so keep that in mind if this is something that you want to look into. It can be fun if you play with the right people. Nova Roma, help the Empire build his new capital in an immersive city building real estate management strategy board game. Bloodstone, an epic arena combat game for 1 to 8 players. Use a custom dice mechanism to determine your attacks and movements. Use your miniatures to move around the board and engage in epic combat. Game features a battle system alongside with a campaign story that you can play through. This one is being produced by Druid City Games, and I love most of the games. Wonderland War, Tidal Blades, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Can't wait for it to relaunch on Kickstarter. The Faceless Amusement Park, the first dungeon crawl game that will feature a compass and magnets. Mistwind, navigate through the Mistland Islands while building outposts, connecting networks, and delivering cargo with flying transport whales. Again, this is another game I talked about on the channel. It is a pickup and delivery game. I played this one at Shucks. I really enjoyed it. I love the miniature whales that carry your cargo. Really reminds me of Ticket to Ride in the sense that you're trying to build this connecting road from one end of the board to the other. If that sounds like your type of game, I highly recommend to look into this one. Miniatures of Gloomhaven, a miniature set for the game Gloomhaven. That's gonna be awesome. Definitely gonna bring that game more to life. If you enjoy that game, this is something that you're probably gonna want to pick up if you like miniatures. Endeavor Deep Sea. This edition is set in a new era from the original game, Endeavor. In this one, you are an independent researcher with the goal of trying to bring balance to marine life. Throughout the game, you are exploring new locations, researching dive sites, and publishing your findings. Horror Game Show, the board game. A board game about brutal horror that is in a retro TV vibe. Buy gear, hire new players, and prepare dirty tricks. Make sure that your TV show is the most famous. Nestlings, the board game. Compete for dominance in a thriving ecosystem to make sure you have the best ecosystem for your nestlings. Been hearing a lot of good reviews about this one. It reminds me a lot of Wingspan. I'm not too sure if it plays similar to that or not. I haven't played it, but I've been hearing good things, so this might be something that you want to also look into. Rising Storm, the Starborn, a sci-fi themed card game, win challenges, capture enemy cards, and earn credits. The Adventures of Dix Dixon. This game is set in a multi-dimensional horror universe filled with detectives and monster crime bosses. The Delios, the Minotaur Labyrinth game. Solve puzzles of the labyrinth before it is too late. Now next up, I do have a game that I do have a prototype for that I have played. That is Pintamonaz. This is a miniature painting game. It did fail in 2022, but I believe it's coming back in 2023, where you're going to be painting different miniatures, and the player who has the best miniature painting job will win the game. A little bit of cleanup work with this one as well to remove the paint off the miniatures so you can replay the game. Not too big of a deal, but keep that in mind. But if you like painting miniatures, this is a game I can recommend. Shanghai, the Evernight City, an interactive detective crime board game where you need to listen carefully, study the board in order to win. In this game, you trust no one. An Age Contrived, a fantasy Euro game of engine building and resource programming. Players will play as gods, and your goal is to advance the mortal realm from its age of darkness into civilization. SOA, a strategic card game where players will compete against each other using a thematic deck of 25 cards. The goal of the game is to deactivate the portals on the opponent's field. To do this, players will move their creatures on the board, attack, or use their special abilities. Now last, but definitely not least, we have The Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era by Chip Theory Board Games, coming to GameFound in March. If you are a fan of the Elder Scrolls universe, this is definitely going to be a game that you want to back. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video right here because YouTube thinks you guys would enjoy it as well. And remember, be good humans, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.